Ever get that feeling, when you're just browsing online?
Yeah.
Like there's this whole other world happening that you don't see, right? Kind of like you're only seeing the tip of the iceberg.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, today's deep dive, we're going all the way in. Cybersecurity, but not just like your everyday antivirus stuff.
Right.
We're talking about a company, Criminal IP. They're practically the Sherlock Holmes of the internet, and they team up with these like forensic analysts at Hybrid Analysis.
Oh, wow.
To track down the bad guys,
Yeah. I like that, the Sherlock Holmes of the internet. And the thing is, that underworld, it's changing all the time, just as messed up and connected as the real world, which is crazy when you think about it.
It's true. So, okay. Let's break this down a bit. When we say criminal IP, what are we even talking about? I mean, it sounds kind of, I don't know, shady. But they're the good guys, right?
For sure, for sure. Think of them like a giant network. Always collecting info about, any sketchy stuff happening online. Oh. And their thing is IP addresses. Basically like a home address, but for anything that's connected to the internet.
Makes sense.
So criminal IP, they keep tabs on which of these addresses have let's say, a colorful past. Sending spam, those phishing sites, spreading malware, you name it.
So someone's IP address is like their online fingerprint. And criminal IP, they've got the database to see if those prints match any known criminals.
Spot on, but here's where it gets wild. They don't stop at just like, who are the bad guys? They actually dig into how they work, their methods, their networks, even try to figure out what they're after. It's like digital profiling.
Which is where Hybrid Analysis steps in.
Yeah.
Right? I'm picturing them like in a super high-tech lab running tests on like shady files and stuff.
Wrong. Hybrid Analysis, they're all about dissecting the tools of the trade, so to speak. And by tools, I mean malware.
Malware. For those of us who might need a little refresher, what exactly is that again?
It's basically any software that's made to cause trouble. Viruses, that ransomware stuff that locks up your computer, spyware, anything that can get to your info or even like take over your devices.
Not good.
No, not at all. What Hybrid Analysis does is they take these bad programs and they study them in a completely safe environment, kind of like a digital quarantine zone where they can set off a digital bomb, but safely. See what it does.
So they can figure out how to stop it in the real world.
Exactly. How it works, how to spot it. The whole 9 yards.
It's like preventative medicine, but for the internet.
You got it. And what's so brilliant about these two teaming up, you've got criminal IP, they've got the big picture, right? They know who the bad guys are, what they're up to.
Right.
And then you've got Hybrid Analysis, who's all about the nitty-gritty, the actual tools and methods these guys are using.
So they're connecting the dots, but on a huge scale. And what really blows my mind, it all comes back to keeping regular people like you and me safe online.
100%. This isn't just some theory, it's actually making a difference. Think about it. Remember that phishing email you were talking about a while back? The one that looked kind of sort of like it was from your bank?
Oh, yeah. That one was close. I almost clicked it too.
See, that's a prime example of where criminal IP and Hybrid Analysis, they really shine. Let's say that email, it came from a server, right? And that server, it's linked to a whole network of phishing operations. So criminal IP, they'd flag it immediately. Based on its history, all the shady stuff it's been tied to.
Okay.
Now, at the same time, Hybrid Analysis, they might get their hands on a sample of the bad code hidden in that phishing email.
Right.
And they get to work, right? They pick it apart, figure out how it's trying to trick you, and then boom, they make what they call a detection signature.
So, like a digital wanted poster.
Yeah.
But for that specific attack.
You got it. And then they share that with everybody, their partners, all the security companies, internet providers, you name it. So next time someone tries to send that same phishing email out, it's probably going to get flagged as dangerous even before it hits your inbox.
That's amazing. So it's like, I don't know, having a whole army of digital bodyguards working around the clock to keep you safe.
That's a great way to think about it. And listen, this protection, it goes way beyond just email. Remember those like shady links you run into in search results or even like popping up on social media?
Oh, yeah. The ones that promise you like free stuff or something.
Yeah.
Or have those crazy headlines that are like impossible to resist clicking on.
Exactly. And that's another place. Criminal IP and Hybrid Analysis are super important. They help spot and flag those too. Remember we were talking about that URL scorecard thing earlier?
Oh, right. It's like a safety rating for websites. Yeah.
Yeah.
How does that even work?
It's actually really cool.
Okay.
So criminal IP, they feed all their data all those sketchy IP addresses and domains, they feed it right into hybrid analysis. And hybrid analysis, they take that data, combine it with all their own research, their malware analysis, everything they know about current threats, and they use all that to size up how trustworthy a website is.
Okay.
They're looking at a ton of stuff. How old is the website? Do they even have a real security certificate? Have they been linked to any shady business in the past? Red flags. And then they give it a score.
So it's like a credit score, but instead of like how good your credit is, it's how likely you are to get like digitally mugged.
Exactly. And that score, it gets used by all kinds of security tools and services to give you a heads up before you click on something risky, like you might get a warning or your browser might even just block the site completely.
Wow. I had no idea all that was happening behind the scenes. Every time I click a link,
Oh, it's a whole world, all this digital detective work going on. And you know what makes this partnership, this criminal IP and hybrid analysis thing, so powerful?
What's that?
They never stop learning. And they're always adapting.
What do you mean?
Well, think about it. The bad guys, they're not just sitting around, right? They're always coming up with new ways to cause trouble. New malware, new ways to trick you with phishing, new ways to take advantage of any weakness they can find.
So it's like a cat and mouse game almost.
Exactly. They have to stay one step ahead all the time. But every time there's a new attack, every piece of malware they break down, criminal IP and hybrid analysis, they get better. They update their info, tweak their algorithms, they make sure their defenses can handle it.
So it's like an arms race, but in the digital world.
Precisely. It never stops. But here's the thing, with every battle, they're getting better at protecting us from all those unseen dangers lurking out there in the digital shadows. And that's what makes this partnership so important in this crazy, connected world we live in.
I don't know about you, but this is kind of blowing my mind. You realize just how vulnerable you are online, but also, thankfully, that there are these amazing people working hard to keep everyone safe. It's kind of wild when you think about it. Most people going about their day, checking emails, browsing, they have no clue about all this crazy stuff happening in the background.
Right.
Keeping them safe.
It's true. Cybersecurity, it's like invisible until it doesn't work. Trust me, the work that groups like criminal IP and hybrid analysis do, essential. Absolutely essential. Keeps our digital lives ticking,
No doubt. So what are some of the biggest hurdles they face, trying to stay ahead of all these threats, constantly evolving and everything?
Well, for one thing, just the sheer size of the internet. It's mind-boggling, really. Think about it. Every single day there are, millions new websites popping up, billions of emails flying around, code being written, some of it bad news, obviously. And trying to keep up with all of that, you need serious processing power and some really smart algorithms.
Like finding a needle in a haystack. But the haystack's growing every second and changing shape.
Exactly. And on top of all that, you've got the criminals, right? Always innovating, finding new ways to hide what they're doing, new ways to exploit any little crack in the system.
So how do criminal IP and hybrid analysis even keep up? How do they stay a step ahead?
Well, teamwork is key. That's a big one. They work really closely with other researchers, law enforcement, even some private companies. Sharing what they know, coordinating their efforts, it's crucial.
Like a global team of detectives all working together to crack the case.
Exactly. And then, of course, you've got AI. Artificial intelligence, machine learning, can't forget about that. Automating those really big tasks, analyzing huge chunks of data, spotting patterns that humans might miss.
So it's not just like people hunched over computers anymore.
Oh, no, not at all. Don't get me wrong. Human expertise, still vital. But AI, it's playing a bigger and bigger role, spotting those anomalies, flagging anything suspicious. Heck, they're even using it to predict future attacks based on past behavior.
Sounds like something out of a movie. But it's real, right? Like this is actually happening, protecting us right now.
Oh, yeah. This is real-world tech, solving real-world problems. And the more we rely on technology, the more important it's going to become.
Totally. Well, this has been incredible. Eye-opening, really. Makes you appreciate how complex cybersecurity really is.
Yeah.
And, the importance of staying informed.
Right. Couldn't agree more. Knowledge is power, especially in this day and age.
For sure. So, for everyone listening, wanting to learn more about criminal IP, hybrid analysis, how to stay safe online, where should they go?
Both criminal IP and hybrid analysis, their websites are gold mines. Seriously, check them out. Reports, articles, blog posts, they've got it all. Really interesting stuff, too.
And don't be afraid to. Dive in, do a little digging,
Yeah.
Stay curious, especially with all these online threats always changing.
Exactly. The more you know about the digital world, the good, the bad, and the ugly, the better you'll be at navigating it safely. Trust me.
Well said. It's been awesome exploring all of this with you. Until next time, everyone, stay curious and stay safe out there.